Hi, my name is Marteen Santerre with Soul Being, and today I am speaking with Sarah Smith from the Integrative Studio. Sarah is a licensed massage therapist whose passion is to inspire others to live a healthy life, mind, body, and spirit. Sarah, welcome.
Thanks, Marteen. I'm really honored to be here.
We're excited to have you. So Sarah, what is your background and how did you get into massage therapy?
So let's see, I've been in the healing arts now for 17 years, and I can't even believe it's been 17 years, but I was attracted to massage therapy actually initially for the lifestyle. Wow, I really wanted to be able to help people have a transformation and be able to travel at the same time. And I loved at that point in time in my life, you know, I was looking for a career change and I really wanted to have sort of the entrepreneurial freedom of, you know, creating a schedule and helping people.
Very cool. And so what kind of training did you have to get into massage?
I studied at the Boulder College of Massage Therapy. It was a 1,000-hour program. And I just took a year off and dedicated it to volunteering, you know, outside of the school and just really sort of submerging my, you know, self into massage for about a year.
Awesome. So Sarah, you've been going through a transition in your practice. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, you know, the Integrative Studio is kind of comes from the foundation of bringing lots of healthcare professionals together and really, you know, really supporting a client's well-being from practitioner standpoint. Like I know a client could come in and receive massage and they may not need me for 5 years, but they might need an acupuncturist. They might need an herbalist. So the idea behind and the mission behind the Integrative Studio is really to support people's health as it evolved and in order for them to achieve optimum health. And then it sort of transpired into learning different modalities. Like I started my massage practice really loving shiatsu and sort of the Chinese sort of philosophy around meridian work. And then when I opened my first practice, what showed up on my table really, you know, was like, you know, somebody falling off the roof and saying, hey, can you work on my neck? Yeah. So I felt the responsibility of really needing to know where my scope and practice was. So I went to the Muscle Therapy Institute and really studied orthopedic massage injury assessment and treatment, and then got into myofascial work, Thai massage, craniosacral, and kind of took it and expanded it. So now my practice has transitioned really into helping people on the genetic level. Like my whole passion right now is like, how can I be the most effective to help this client sort of transition their health to the next level? And it's really through the field of nutrigenomics. And
that's really hot right now. A lot of people are talking about that. Can you explain a little bit about what that is before you can get into it?
Yeah, so nutrigenomics is how all natural compounds like food affect your DNA. I know that the changes that I'm making on bodies really only last a certain amount of time, and I can never massage people's genes.
Yes.
Right? So the movement is called biohacking, and biohacking is about taking a complex system like your biology and creating a desired outcome.
Okay.
Right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
How do you do that through massage?
Well, it's one of my tools in my toolbox is actually through representing a company and a product line that supports this cellular health. And I've been seeing dramatic results. And this is really something that I've been introduced to, you know, kind of in the Lyme community and kind of our own personal experience with Lyme. So
it's an herbal supplement or?
It's actually an activator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's a category creator that it's a paradigm shift, and I'm going to say this like really slowly so you get this, but this is around activating your own body's way to heal itself versus supplementing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good distinction. So you just mentioned Lyme a moment ago, and you've had some experience with Lyme disease, which is something that is really prevalent here in Maine. A lot of people have been struggling with it. Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, let's see, 5 years ago, my husband and I both had Lyme disease. And we're kind of this anomaly of being able to say sort of had Lyme disease, which is really kind of cool.
That is that is an anomaly. You're very fortunate. How do you go from having it to having had it? Yeah.
Well, we really tapped into the alternative community, the alternative healing arts, to kind of address the core root of the issue. And then that's where I was introduced to the nutrigenomics and, you know, kind of a product line that was actually repairing mitochondria all naturally at the cellular level, that was reducing oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. You know, really just finding the right support to kind of create that healing that, you know, our bodies actually have that ability to heal. So if we can activate it and trigger it to do what it knows how to do in the healing process, you just have really great results.
That's awesome. And did you have other things that you did in concert with that, like around diet or any different therapies that you participated in? Or was it really just using this kind of idea around biohacking?
Really focusing on biohacking. I think when you're looking at, you know, something that activates your own body's way to regulate genes and antioxidant and anti-inflammatory enzymes, as well as a really good probiotic, you know, an omega, and something that works on the mitochondria. You're really addressing a big piece of it. There are different ways that you can address the bacteria with Lyme, and, you know, I'm sure, you know, it's a do-it-yourself disease.
Sure.
So
it's nice to hear that that there is hope for people that are going through that, though.
Yeah.
So where, just jumping back to massage, so where do you have the most success as a massage therapist? And you have a lot of different experience. What are your strengths so that we can tell potential clients that might be looking for a massage therapist?
Yeah. I feel like my strengths, I feel like people come in and they have this list of things that they're working on, and what I get excited about is I have a lot of different ways I can work on the body and work on treating people. The people who I have the most that I feel like get the most benefit from the work that I do because of my medical massage training and things like that are people who are kind of last hope. So
when they're at their end of the rope, that's when they can contact you.
Yeah, like if they've gone through the PT, they've gone through you know, everything they can imaginable, and their primary care physician says, you know what, you had this car accident or you had this injury that happened, nothing seems to be working, why don't you go and receive some massage? And I actually have a lot of success with those people and you know, giving them hope is something that I'm really passionate about. So having results in that way, and then really people who just want to take really good care of their bodies, and that are, you know, I like to really empower people to take ownership of their health.
Sure.
So I think a lot of that can happen in one of the sessions, you know, that we have. It just allows people to step into owning their health and moving it into a really positive direction.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question about massage then. Is it one of those things from a frequency standpoint? I know for many people, they might go to the spa once in a while and get a massage. You talked about medical massage. In order to get the best benefit from that in a preventative standpoint, how frequently should somebody be getting a massage?
That's a good question, because I get that a lot. Like, okay, well, what would you recommend? So if you're working through a particular injury, it's usually, you know, kind of the standard is come as, you know, 4 to 6 visits as close together as you can, and then get on a maintenance program. Okay. So if you didn't have a particular injury that you were working through, you would really look at coming every 2 weeks if you can financially swing that. But even every month to 6 weeks, if you can get in and on the table, even if there's nothing going on, to actually just, it just reminds the body like that this is how it needs to be. Okay. So it's the consistency, not necessarily the frequency when you're healthy.
Interesting. Okay, that's a good distinction to make. Excuse me here. Can we talk a little bit about you personally? What are your mindful living practices?
So that's another really good question, because last year, 2017, for me was kind of like a whirling dervish, you know?
Just I think it was for a lot of people.
It just felt like a lot of activity, and the things that I felt like I were missing were the things that fill my cup. And I'm really good at taking care of a lot of people, and I know as healthcare professionals out there, we have to come up with creative ways to fill our cup and be able to walk the talk. So I started reading, it's called The Miracle Morning, and this kind of encompasses everything I've tried to do, but in my mind, my belief system said I needed to have a 90-minute yoga practice. My belief system said I at least needed to do a half hour to an hour of meditation a day. My belief system told me that everything needed to take longer than it really does. So what I do every morning, and I've heard people say this before, get up really early and get your practices in, whatever they are. But after reading this book, I was really inspired to set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning, before my daughter gets up, before my husband gets up, and really set aside 1 hour to do everything. And you know, I do it in 10-minute increments,
like compressed
time. And I have to tell you, it's the consistency, just like massage, when you're on a healthy sort of trend, it's the consistency in the small actions that you take that create the compound effect. Okay. So 10 minutes of yoga, you set the timer. 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of affirmations, 10 minutes of self-development, you know, a spiritual book, or, you know, a leadership book, anything that's driving you, where your interests, where you learn. And
then you cram it all in, but you make it all fit into that hour.
Make it all fit into the hour. And I have to tell you, I am focused. I have more energy. I feel great, and I feel really balanced. And for some reason, just by doing that hour, it allows me to fill in even in different categories for longer amounts of time during the day.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and then you make sure that you get that. You feed yourself, right, your soul, before you actually even get started with your day and start taking care of everybody else, your clients, your family.
That's the key.
All right, very cool. I'm going to try that. Last question. What is your favorite thing about being a massage therapist?
My favorite thing. I have a couple of things. From a client standpoint, I love when somebody comes in and they're having a pain, or they're not feeling good in their body, they're not feeling good emotionally, and 1 hour later or 90 minutes later, they leave feeling like everything is changed.
That's wonderful.
They might not be in pain, they might not have the same thought patterns going on at the same time. And I love creating the space. For me, massage therapy is actually, these are the things that I need to do to like set up a really nice session. Like the room needs to be really nice. The music has to be just right. I want the table warm. Like just creating this space where people can come and heal, and just knowing that I'm a medium for it all, awesome. And that I'm here to serve. And that's what I love. I love being that person for people.
Thank you, Sarah, so much. So to get in touch with Sarah, visit us at soulbeing.com. Thanks, and have an amazing day.
Thanks, Marteen.